Okay guys, this is part 2 of the lesson 25 video. We're going to start on page 269, but before we do, in our last video we talked about 2D shapes, flat shapes. So this piece of paper is a 2D shape because it doesn't have any edges, doesn't have any faces or edges, it's just flat. It's flat to the ground. Just like this paper. It's flat. When I lay it down, it sticks to the ground. Just like when we draw these pictures, they're flat. So when we're talking about these, we're talking about 3D shapes because it has a face and an edge, which are the lines. So I want to show you some real 3D shapes before we get started. Just like this Kleenex box. It's 3D because it is raised up and it has sides and edges. So this is a face. 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 So it has faces, so it is a 3D shape, but it also has edges, which are the lines. So this is an edge. This is an edge. This is an edge. But it is a rectangular prism. Now I want to show you another one. This is also a rectangular prism or a cube. Probably looks more like a rectangular prism, but the face is square. But if it is a cube, all the faces are square. So this is a rectangular prism because this side, this face is a rectangle. This one is a cube. This one is a cube. And this one is a rectangle. So a rectangular prism can have 2 faces that are cubes and 4 faces that are rectangle. I hope that helps you a little bit because I know in these pictures they still look flat. So even though they're flat on the paper because they can't make them pop up or anything, they are 3D shapes, just like this square. We can only see 3 faces, but it has 6. So let's use this as an example. 1, 2, that was the top and the bottom. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I start back at the beginning. So it has 6 faces and 12 edges. So that would be like the top and the bottom. This is 4 edges. 4 plus 3 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So it says, look at the shape below and fill in the chart. So all of these, even though they look different, they are still a rectangular prism. So they're all gonna have 6 faces and 12 edges. So A is a rectangular prism. Can't get that on there. Rectangular prism. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces and 12 edges. So it has 6 rectangle faces. Now B is a cube because all of its faces are square. So B, I'm going to write a cube because it has 6 cube faces. Hope that makes sense to you guys. So these are rectangle faces. So it's going to be a rectangular prism, 6 rectangle faces. B is a cube because all of them are square faces, so it has 6 square faces. All right, C is a little bit different. C is a rectangular prism. But it has 1, 2, try to imagine it as if it were standing up. The top and the bottom have square faces, but it has 4 rectangle faces. So I'm going to write 2 square faces and 4 rectangle faces. And I know my handwriting is not very neat. All right. Number 2, Keith put his teddy bear in the box in his room. Here are the 3 boxes in Keith's room. The box with his teddy bear is a cube. Which box has his teddy bear? How do you know? Well, we know, we just talked about how a cube has 6 square faces. This face is a rectangle, so I know it cannot be box 1. This face on the top and this face on the side is a rectangle, so I know it's not box 2. All of these faces are square, so it is box 3. It says the box with his teddy bear is a cube. Which box has his teddy bear? How do you know? I'm going to write box 3 because it has all square faces. All right, number 3. Pam traced each face of this solid to make a design. Draw what the design might look like. So it says Pam traced each face of this solid to make a design. Draw what the design might look like. So basically, trace the faces. So you're going to go over the edges and try to redraw that down here. It's not going to be perfect. Just do the best you can. See, mine looks kind of crazy, but that's because we're trying to draw 3D shapes just by looking at this picture. The way I like to draw them, if I'm drawing a rectangular prism, is I draw 2 squares and connect my lines. Now that's messy too, but I think it kind of looks better than my first one. Okay. Number 4, fill in the blanks. Use the words in the box. So our choices are some, no, or all, kind of like our last one. Fill in the blanks. Use the words in the box. No rectangular prisms have 10 edges. No rectangular prisms. Some rectangular prisms have 10 edges, or all rectangular prisms have 10 edges. Well, we talked about how rectangular prisms have 12 edges. So I'm going to write no. The next one says blank rectangular prisms have 6 faces. I'm going to write all. They might not all have a rectangle face, but they do all have 6 faces. And the last one, rectangular prisms have square faces. And I'm gonna write some. Okay. Now this one's pretty easy. We just have to circle true or false. So number 1, circle true or false for each sentence. All hexagons have 5 angles. And you can look back and check your answer. All hexagons have 6 sides and 6 angles. So all hexagons have 5 angles? That would be false. All cubes have 6 equal faces. And we talked about that over here with this one, and that is true. All triangles have 3 equal sides. Well, if you remember when we talked about triangles, all of the sides don't have to be the same. So let's go back. Went too far. False. They do not have to be equal, but they do have 3 sides. All rectangular prisms have 12 edges. That is true. We just talked about it over here with this one. And number 2, which shape has fewer sides than a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral has 4 sides, so what has less than 4? We talked about how a pentagon has 5, hexagon has 6, square has 4, so a triangle has 3, so that would be less than 4. Nina chose D. This is wrong. Why is she wrong? So here's why she's wrong, because a square is a quadrilateral. A square has 4, a quadrilateral has 4. So a square is a type of quadrilateral. Now I'll let you guys put that one in your own words. The last page we have, draw a hexagon, write the number of sides. You may use the dots to help you. So we're drawing a hexagon. Let's remember how many sides a hexagon has. A pentagon has 5, hexagon has 6 sides. So let's draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, even Miss Harris can mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to start over. This looks like a mess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it says you may use the dots. It says draw a hexagon, write the number of sides. It has 6 sides. All right. What is the name of the big shape that is made by putting all the small shapes together? So it wants to know what the name of this shape is, and that is a triangle. All right, there are 9 smaller shapes that make up the big shape in problem 4. What are the smaller shapes? Write how many there are of each shape. So let's count the small triangles. There's 1, 2, 3. I don't see any more, so I'm going to write 3 quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4. A pentagon has 5 sides, so let's find one that has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't see any pentagon. And let's count our hexagons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 2 hexagons. All right, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know.